A young couple's toxic relationship led to tragedy. An investigation reveals that things were not as simple as they seemed, and the family's dark secrets continue to come to light. Nahir Galarza was born on September 11, 1998, in the city of Gualeguaychú, Argentina, which has a population of about 100,000 people. This city borders Uruguay and is famous for its carnival. Nahir was a very outgoing, fun-loving girl from childhood. She had a brother, Aaron, who was 3 years younger than her. Her brother was developmentally delayed and had a hard time learning, unlike her sister. He was later diagnosed with a disability. Nahir did well in school and learned languages easily. Their family was exemplary, strong, and happy. The house was always in perfect order. The mother taught her children cleanliness from childhood. Nahir was obsessed with cleaning and order. Hand washing became a habit for her. Her father was a policeman. Her parents were not strict. On the contrary, they spoiled their children very much. Nahir dreamed of becoming a lawyer, and after graduating from high school, she entered the university to study law. Nahir loved sports and went to workouts and massages every day to maintain a perfect figure. Nahir had many friends with whom she went to parties. In 2012, at the age of 14, she met 15-year-old Fernando Pastorizo at a bowling alley. Fernando was born on January 3, 1997, in the same city, Gualeguaychú, Argentina. He was a good, funny, and active boy from a decent family. He loved animals and was fond of Nahir. The teenagers started dating, and their relationship was complicated. They often fought and broke up, but after a few days, they were together again. They were both jealous and did not trust each other, which was the reason for their conflicts. In 2016, they took a trip to Brazil with Nahir's family, which went very well. They hardly fought and enjoyed their vacation. Things seemed to be getting better, but the problem only grew. They kept fighting, breaking up and then making up. On Christmas Eve 2017, the couple went to party at the very same bowling alley. Fernando, 20, and Nahir, 19, were vacationing there separately with their friends. As it turned out, they had an argument before the party, and that's why they were not there together. In a bowling alley, there was a fight between Fernando and another guy, Rafael. What the fight was about is not quite clear because the versions of Nahir, Fernando, and their friends are different. Fernando wrote to his friends that he was severely beaten, and Nahir said that Fernando was just jealous of another guy and attacked him. On December 28, 2017, Nahir went to get a massage, and after the massage, she discovered that her phone was dead. She remembered that she had left the charger at Fernando's house. The girl went to his house and stayed there. At night, Fernando took her home on his motorcycle, and at dawn, Fernando was found bleeding by a passing taxi driver. The taxi driver called the police and an ambulance. By the time the ambulance arrived, it was too late and he was dead. Police officers who arrived at the scene found Fernando shot twice near his motorcycle and 2 helmets lying nearby. The news spread quickly, and at 7 o'clock in the morning, Nahir, who woke up to find out, posted a picture of her and him together on her social media page, captioning it, "5 years together, quarrels and breakups, reconciliations, but always with love. I love you forever, my angel." Fernando's mother called to ask what had happened, but Nahir did not know what had happened. Police officers began collecting evidence at the scene and investigating the murder. The initial theory of robbery was rejected because no money had been taken from Fernando. It was a quiet, safe neighborhood with a low crime rate. But who could have killed the guy? Who could have had a motive? It turns out that Fernando was shot with a 9mm handgun. That's a gun usually only used by police officers. Could some policeman have killed him? It was also determined that the guy was first shot from behind at close range. He was probably giving someone a ride from behind and was shot. Then he fell off the bike. The perpetrator walked up to him and shot him in the heart from the front. Could it have been someone he knew? This version was confirmed by the presence of a second helmet. The police began to study the footage from all the surveillance cameras in the area and found a girl leaving the place at 5:22 whose face was not visible. Nahir became a suspect and was called in for questioning. She confidently stated that Fernando had taken her home that night. She took a shower, went to bed, and woke up at 7 a.m. to find out about the tragedy. Then she posted stories about how sorry she was for Fernando. Nahir looked very upset and cried. The investigators had no more questions for her. The police decided to question her father, a policeman who was a colleague of theirs, and he told them that he did not know any Fernando. But that turned out not to be true. Later, photos were found from their trip to Brazil together, where they were all in the same picture. Nahir's father knew Fernando very well, and it is unclear why he lied. The police suggested that the father might have been involved in the crime, and that's why he lied that he didn't know the guy. They were just working on the theory that the policeman was involved because of the gun. Then the father's gun was taken for examination, and it turned out that it was the gun that had been used to shoot Fernando. Nahir's father became a prime suspect. Investigators speculated as to what his motive might have been. Probably, the father did not like the relationship between his daughter Nahir and Fernando, and he could have gotten angry and shot the boy. Nahir confessed to Fernando's murder to protect her father, who was about to be arrested. She claimed that she was a victim of physical violence from the guy that night. He grabbed her by the hair and took her home, so she shot him. But how could she even have a gun? It was clearly a planned crime since she took the gun off her person. As it turned out, Nahir stole her father's service pistol from the refrigerator and put it back after the murder. Her parents did not suspect her of anything. Nahir was captured on surveillance footage. The police asked her why she then ran away and tried to cover all traces, did not call the police or the ambulance. If it was not her fault, Nahir replied that she was confused at that moment. She did not think Fernando would die and did not realize the seriousness of the situation. When she found out that she had killed him, she was very upset. Her friends and his friends gave conflicting accounts. Her friends blamed Fernando for everything, as Nahir complained about him all the time. The guy's friends saw everything as Nahir. Some stated that it was hard to call them a couple because they spent much more time separately than together. Nahir had 5 other guys she was dating, and Fernando probably had other girls too. Fernando's and Nahir's correspondence was analyzed, and from their messages, it seemed that Fernando was more likely to be the victim in this relationship. Nahir was very aggressive and threatened him. And the soft and kind Fernando complained to his friends that he was beaten up when he wanted to break up with Nahir. He was tired of this relationship and just wanted a quiet life without her. This may have been the reason why Nahir decided to kill him, because she wanted to get back at him for Fernando wanting to break up with her. Nahir later claimed that she accidentally shot the guy while holding the gun. Allegedly, they both fell off the motorcycle onto the ground, and that's when the gun went off the first time. Then she raised the gun, and it accidentally shot him again. That didn't sound at all plausible. The ballistics expert denied any possibility of 2 accidental shots. Even if the first shot had been accidental, the second was definitely intentional. In addition, surveillance cameras show that she walked home at a normal pace. She walked more than 20 blocks. She was not in the state of shock and confusion she claimed to be in after the random shots were fired. A graphological examination was conducted. The expert determined that Nahir has a significant emotional imbalance with egocentric manipulative traits. Her handwriting reflects egocentrism, a desire for attention, a tendency toward extreme mood and behavioral swings, impulsivity, aggressiveness, a propensity to lie, dominance, and manipulativeness. The signature shows that there is an important emotional imbalance that she was trying to hold on to, and she failed. Judging by the handwriting, Nahir is not as simple as it seemed at first glance. The girl has a very contradictory, complex, bossy, and aggressive character. As it turned out, at the age of 16, she decided to play a joke on her parents by staging her own kidnapping. Her terrified parents were shocked when they found out it was a prank. Before the trial, the girl was sent for a psychiatric evaluation. The psychiatrist concluded that she was sane. She is an absolute narcissist, irascible, aggressive, and does not repent or regret anything she has done. She was diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive disorder due to obsession with frequency. At the trial, Nahir behaved in a very defiant manner. She came in wearing shorts and looked at everyone with arrogance and dislike, constantly fixing her hair and flirting with everyone, while continuing to insist that it was self-defense. However, no one believed her version. The girl's mother defended her, and her father later disowned his daughter, but there was no evidence that Nahir was physically abused by Fernando. The prosecution voiced its version of what happened. At around 2 a.m., Fernando drove his girlfriend home. When they arrived, they went into Nahir's room and argued there for about 2 hours. Fernando wanted to part with her, but she was against it. The girl discreetly took her father's gun, and they drove somewhere. When they were passing through an empty, dark street, Nahir asked him to stop. She got off the motorcycle and shot him in the back. Fernando fell, and she shot him again, then left for home. At home, she took a shower, washed off the blood spatter and gunpowder residue on her hands, put her father's gun back on the refrigerator, changed her clothes, and went to bed. Nahir was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison with parole eligibility after 35 years. She could be released at the age of 54. Nahir became the youngest prisoner in Argentina to be sentenced to life imprisonment. The girl filed 3 appeals, but they were all denied and the verdict stood. Now the 23-year-old girl claims that she is not guilty at all and that the murderer was her father who fired his gun. But then how did the father not get on the surveillance footage at all? But they did capture Nahir, who was supposedly at home at the time. Then what was she doing there? Her mother divorced her father and claims to believe her daughter. Nahir states that she was afraid of her father and her uncle who raped her, so she took the blame. And her father was abusive, and she is now afraid for her mother and brother. She filed a lawsuit against her uncle. This case received a wide public resonance. There were practically no indifferent people among the local residents. Some support Nahir to this day and believe in her innocence, while others believe the opposite. Nahir not only took Fernando's life, but she destroyed her life, her future, and the future of her brother, who will have no one to take care of him after his parents die. His parents had hoped that Nahir would help him because he is disabled and cannot take care of himself. But unfortunately, she let her family down.
Pregnancy and motherhood are happy times for most women. Additions to the family are waiting and anxious husbands, and future mothers in anticipation of the long-awaited meeting with the child. Unfortunately, the story that unfolded in Ashley Bush's family could not end happily. Ashley Bush, also known as Boone, was 33 years old. She lived in Benton County, Arkansas, with her fiancé Josh Willis. They were expecting a new addition to their family. Ashley was 32 weeks pregnant, and the couple planned to name the baby Valkyrie Grace. Ashley had 3 other children, ages 8, 7, and 2. The 2 older children were from her previous marriage to a man named Chris Bush, and the youngest was her child with Josh. Unfortunately, Ashley's pregnancy was difficult. She posted on social media groups for expectant mothers about her well-being. Her doctor suspended her from work due to complications. Around the same time Ashley was posting about her pregnancy, a woman named Lucy Barrow was offering baby products on her social media page. That's when Ashley decided she needed to find a new way to make money to provide for her children. She wrote the following advertisement: "I am now 30 weeks pregnant. We have 3 children to take care of. I am not working due to health reasons, and my fiancé is going through a series of back surgeries and can't work either. I am looking for a part-time work-from-home job that can be done from my cell phone." Lucy responded to the ad, and they began corresponding. On Friday, October 28, 2022, the women arranged to meet at the Gravette Public Library. Ashley brought her fiancé, and Lucy arrived alone in a pickup truck. During this meeting, the women discussed a job opportunity with a company that provides digital platforms for businesses. Lucy talked about how good her job was, and Ashley asked her to help her get a job there. The meeting was fruitful. Josh, who was present during their interaction, said that Lucy seemed quite nice and trustworthy. A short time later, the woman texted Ashley to say that her supervisor was interested in her candidacy and wanted to meet with her on Monday, October 31st, 2022, in Bentonville, Arkansas at 9 a.m. The women agreed to meet first at the Handy Stop at the Handy Mart gas station, and then Lucy would drive Ashley herself to the meeting. The women agreed to meet first at the Handy Stop at the Handy Mart's gas station, and then Lucy would drive Ashley herself to meet the supervisor. On the appointed day, Josh, the fiancé, drove Ashley to the meeting place, and Lucy arrived in the same pickup truck from the previous meeting at the library. Ashley got into her car, and the women drove together to the interview. Josh drove off alone. Ashley was with Lucy until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It is not known exactly what happened during this time. Around 3 p.m., Ashley texted Josh that she was going back to the store where he had dropped her off and asked him to pick her up. Police officers immediately began a search. George told the officers that Ashley had an ultrasound shortly before she disappeared and that they were expecting a baby girl. She was 32 weeks pregnant, but the baby was larger and sized for 34 weeks gestation. Therefore, she was advised to have minimal mobility. The man was concerned about Ashley's safe return home. Detectives had been searching relentlessly for Ashley since she went missing. The Benton County Sheriff issued a missing woman alert that included information about Lucy and the store where she was last seen. Information was given about what the woman looked like and what she was wearing the day she disappeared: a black hooded sweatshirt, blue jeans, and black shoes without laces. Pregnancy, 32 weeks. Josh met with the police the next day, November 1st. He was able to track Ashley's phone and found it abandoned on the side of the highway near the Handy Stop store where Ashley had met Lucy. The police arrived at the store with Josh to look for possible witnesses. The news of Ashley's disappearance came as a shock to the store's employees. Nothing like this had ever happened before. The gas station was a busy stop for travelers. They averaged about 300 visitors a day, and they couldn't remember Ashley or Lucy. They were approached by a man named Rick Burrow. Rick said he and a friend were driving south on Highway 43 on October 31st. He reported that they saw a man driving northbound throw a red and black cell phone out of his moving vehicle. Rick told police the man was driving a gray or light blue pickup truck. Investigators used the media to ask for the public's help. They asked anyone who was in the area that day to check their security cameras, doorbells, and video recorders. They might have captured something important. The police got Ashley and Josh's cell phone billing information so they could get a timeline of where the woman and her fiance's phone had gone. Many witnesses came forward. Detectives were on the lookout for the same Lucy, Ashley had been in contact with. It was a brand new account that didn't even have a photo of Lucy. Still, they were able to track down her whereabouts, and they were able to track down the suspects. They were Amber and Jamie Waterman, the fiancé of the missing woman. Recognizing the woman as the so-called Lucy, police came to their home and the couple consented to a search. Police found a gray pickup truck at the home that matched the description of the vehicle Ashley and Lucy had left in. Upon examination, they found blood on the center console, steering wheel, and headliner. When the police questioned Amber about her whereabouts on the day Ashley disappeared, she said she had been at home all day with her son and her in-law's daughter. More importantly, Amber reported that she was pregnant and had gone into labor that day. The suspect said her relative called 911, and they went to meet the ambulance at a store in McDonald County, Missouri. She gave birth to a stillborn baby that evening. When detectives asked Amber for her cell phone, she told them she had lost it. The woman also stated that she was the only one with access to the keys to her gray pickup truck. She stated that she did not know Ashley and had never met her, but she did know Lucy Barrow. They worked together at Walmart. Amber told police that she was not close to her and had not seen Lucy in a long time. Detectives also interviewed Amber's husband, Jamie, about his whereabouts that day. During this interview, police officers impounded the pickup truck and took it to a medical examiner. Around the same time that FBI agents became involved, investigators began to look into Amber's work schedule on the day of Ashley's disappearance. The county sheriff said they responded to their reports that the newborn was not breathing on the night of October 31 when Ashley was already missing. An ambulance intercepted the couple near Longview, Missouri, on their way to the hospital. A medical helicopter was standing by to take Amber and the baby to the hospital. The ambulance was unable to help the infant, and he was pronounced dead. A coroner was called to take the infant to a local funeral home. The coroner revealed that Amber was in the placenta in her underwear. When the local staff showed up, it led Jamie to believe that she had given birth. Amber refused any treatment or to go to the hospital. The baby was taken to the funeral home, and the woman's placenta was taken away. On November 1, Jamie and Amber went to the funeral home. They wanted to schedule a service for the baby girl they had named Dakota. The service was scheduled for 1 p.m. on November 2. The morning before the scheduled service, the detectives called the coroner's office and asked for the deceased child's DNA and insisted on an autopsy. The witness said that the farewell service seemed quite ordinary. There were about 12 people in attendance. The coroner arrived at the funeral home on behalf of law enforcement to pick up the child's body and perform an autopsy. This caused Amber's mood to sour dramatically. She asked several times if DNA testing would be done. When she heard a positive answer, the couple abruptly got up and ran out of the funeral home. On November 3, police served a search warrant at Amber's home. During the search, police spoke with her husband, Jamie. He said he discovered blood in the gray Chevy pickup truck on the evening of October 31, but didn't pay much attention to it. He assumed the blood was Amber's, and the reason for the blood was pregnancy complications. But it wasn't long before the story took an unexpected turn. After investigators left his home after a preliminary search at about 5 a.m. on Wednesday, November 2, Amber admitted to her husband that Lucy didn't exist and that she had killed Ashley herself. She led Jamie to the woman's body. Ashley was dressed and lying face down next to a boat near their home. The body was covered with a blue tarp. The police had not gone up there during the preliminary search, so they had not discovered the body. The man agreed to help Amber dispose of the body, and they decided to burn it. The woman took the ring off Ashley's finger and put it in her pocket. They took the body to the fire pit. Amber took off the tarp and put oil on the body, and then she started gathering wood to throw in the fire. Jamie pulled out a small old couch to use as fuel for the fire and threw it into the fire they were trying to burn Ashley's body in. It burned for about an hour, and Amber put out the fire with a garden hose. They never managed to burn the body completely as they had planned. Jamie tried to pull the body out of the burned pile, but said it was still very hot. He waited, picked up a new gift, and moved Ashley's body onto it. The couple put the body in the back of Jamie's pickup truck. They couldn't go far because the vehicle was broken down and couldn't go very far. Amber and Jamie found the secluded spot where they had left the body and took the tarp with them. When they returned home, Amber burned the gift in the fire pit. But Jamie soon regretted his decision to help his wife and decided to confess to the police. He came to the station and gave a statement after his confession. Jamie delivered Ashley's body to the detectives. Investigators were shocked by the condition of the woman's body. An autopsy later revealed that there was no baby inside her. Someone had cut it out of her abdomen, and the cause of death was a gunshot wound. The expert who performed the autopsy on the baby made a shocking statement about its death. It was cut out of Ashley. After she was killed, DNA tests later confirmed that Amber and her husband wanted to bury the baby. Detectives determined that the Waterman tried to dispose of Ashley's body on the same day they attended a memorial service for the baby. They wanted to dispose of the body as soon as possible and cremate it so that no trace would be left behind, and it could not be determined whose baby was whose, but fortunately they were not in time. On November 4, Ashley's fiancé Josh posted the following statement on his social media page. "I am disgusted by this whole situation. I want Ashley and baby Valkyrie to be alive and at home. With all the names, I can't believe there are people who would do this. She was a wonderful mother, a wonderful wife, a very open, caring, and kind person. She didn't deserve any of this. There are 3 beautiful children who just lost their mother. I just lost my wife and my daughter. We will all support each other, but we are all devastated. We all hoped and prayed that she would come home safely. I've lost all hope in humanity. I appreciate everyone's help." Ashley Bush was reported missing by the Benton County Sheriff's Office at approximately 6:30 p.m. on October 31, 2022, and her body was found on November 3, 2022. The Watermans made their first court appearance on November 4 for a preliminary hearing. Amber, 42, was charged with 2 counts of capital murder and 1 count of kidnapping. Jamie was charged with 1 count of accessory after the fact. They were both appointed public defenders. The prosecutor asked the court to hold them without bail pending trial because of the seriousness of the charges, and the judge agreed. The judge felt that Amber was a danger to the community and should be behind bars. Amber and Jamie were taken to the Greene County Jail in Missouri. On November 4th, Amber refused to testify and insisted that she was innocent, although all evidence suggests otherwise. It is unknown where the woman was murdered and her baby's stomach was cut out. The investigation revealed that Amber had been trying to lure other pregnant women by offering to sell baby clothes. But she was unsuccessful, and then she came across an ad for Ashley, who was in a difficult situation and looking for work. Amber decided that she was the perfect victim. The deceased's husband suggests that Amber may have tried to buy a child from a desperate Ashley, but she refused, so she killed her. After numerous postponements, Amber Waterman's trial is scheduled to resume on June 13, 2023. Amber Waterman's husband, Jamie Waterman, 43, was previously indicted on one count of assisting his wife in the alleged kidnapping and preventing her apprehension. Amber Waterman faces life in prison if she is convicted. Her husband faces a maximum prison term of 15 years. Both have pleaded not guilty. Thanks for joining today's crime journey. I'm Diana, your guide in the shadows. Subscribe, hit the bell, and let's keep exploring mysteries together. Stay curious, stay alert, and see you next time. Take care. The harrowing tale that unfolded in the quiet neighborhood of Edgewood reached its climax as Tanisha Siena, a resident of Mahonia Way, faced the consequences of a crime that shattered the tranquility of their community. In a courtroom heavy with emotion, the gavel fell on April 21, 2015, sealing Tanisha's fate with a maximum sentence of 50 years behind bars. The charges, second-degree murder, and the use of a handgun during a violent crime, reflected the severity of the domestic tragedy that had befallen George Moore, a man whose life was entwined with Tanisha in ways both intimate and familial. George Moore, an esteemed electrical engineer employed by NASA, was not merely a victim in this heart-wrenching narrative. He was the partner with whom Tanisha shared a home and the father of their 2 children. His untimely demise sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community on Mahonia Way, leaving neighbors and friends grappling with the incomprehensible reality of a life cut short within the confines of domesticity. As the wheels of justice turned, the Harford County Sheriff's Office took the lead in unraveling the intricacies of this tragic tale. The investigation meticulously pieced together the events leading up to Moore's death, ultimately pointing the accusatory finger at Tanisha. The courtroom, a stage for the culmination of months of legal proceedings, became a crucible where the weight of evidence bore down on Tanisha, leading to her conviction. This week's sentencing marked the final chapter in a saga that had gripped the community, offering a semblance of closure to the anguished hearts that had followed the case. The judge's decree, imposing the maximum 50-year term, sent a resounding message about the gravity of domestic violence and the irrevocable consequences it can inflict on families. The sentence was not just a legal formality, it was a societal proclamation that such acts, especially within the sacred bounds of a home, would not be tolerated. The echoes of George Moore's life, a brilliant mind contributing to the scientific endeavors of NASA, will resonate through the memories of those who knew him. His legacy now intertwines with the somber tale of a domestic murder that, for a brief moment, held a community captive in grief and disbelief. As Mahonia Way strives to heal and rebuild, the solemn pronouncement of justice serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the imperative to confront the dark shadows that can lurk even within the most seemingly idyllic corners of our existence. Amidst the weight of legal proceedings, the courtroom transformed into a poignant stage where the bereaved family of George Moore laid bare the emotional aftermath of his tragic departure. Juanita, Moore's grief-stricken mother, offered a window into the daily struggle she faced, sharing with the court her heartfelt prayer for the strength to be a pillar of support for her grandchildren. Her words painted a vivid picture of a grandmother, determined to fill the void left by the absence of their parents, embracing the solemn responsibility of guiding them through the challenges of life. Georgette, Moore's sister, echoed the sentiments of loss that permeated the family's collective heart. Her testimony conveyed not only the personal devastation experienced by each family member, but also the profound impact on Moore's children, who were abruptly denied their father's nurturing presence as they navigated the delicate journey into adulthood. The courtroom, typically a bastion of legal formalities, became a space where the human toll of the tragedy was deeply felt and acknowledged. The ripples of sorrow extended beyond familial circles to the Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, where Moore had dedicated his professional life as an electrical engineer. Colleagues mourned not only the loss of a skilled engineer, but a valued member of their close-knit scientific community. In a collective statement, they underscored the personal tragedy suffered by the Moore family, while also emphasizing the broader societal loss of a mind, whose contributions had tangible benefits for scientific progress and the nation as a whole. At the forefront of the legal pursuit of justice were the dedicated individuals from the Harford County State's Attorney's Office. Deputy State's Attorney Diane Adkins Tobin and Assistant State's Attorney Allison N. Healy led the charge, their commitment evident in the thorough and collaborative nature of the investigation. The Harford County Sheriff's Office, working hand-in-hand with the prosecution, exemplified the determination of law enforcement to confront and rectify the scourge of domestic violence, a commitment that echoed through the courtroom and resonated with the broader community. In the wake of this heart-wrenching trial, the echoes of George Moore's life continue to reverberate through the collective memory of those who knew him. Beyond the legal verdict, the profound impact on his family, friends, and professional colleagues serves as a stark reminder of the deep scars left by domestic violence and the urgent need for societal vigilance in addressing and preventing such tragedies. The culmination of the trial and sentencing in the Tanasha case not only provided a semblance of closure for the community, but also cast a somber light on the intricate web of complexities surrounding domestic disputes. The courtroom proceedings, laden with emotional testimonies and legal intricacies, underscored the devastating consequences that can unfold when conflicts within the intimate sphere escalate to irreparable levels. Families, once united, find themselves fractured, and communities are left grappling with the aftermath, contemplating the fragility of the sanctity they hold dear. As if to emphasize the pervasive nature of such tragedies, another incident unfolded in the heart of Edgewood, drawing attention to the interconnected threads of domestic strife. Tanasha, facing trial for the murder of her ex-boyfriend, George S. Moore Jr., entered the legal arena with a plea of self-defense. She maintained that she shot Moore within the confines of their shared residence, arguing that her actions were a response to a perceived threat. However, the courtroom drama unfolded over 6 intense days, revealing layers of complexity and challenging the narrative presented by Tanasha. The Harford County jury, after careful consideration of the evidence presented during the trial, rendered a verdict that contradicted Sienna's claims of self-defense. The Deputy State's Attorney, Adkins Tobin, played a pivotal role in dismantling the assertions put forth by the defense, presenting a compelling case that highlighted inconsistencies and refuted the narrative of imminent danger. The jury's decision, finding Sienna guilty of second-degree murder and committing an act of violence with a handgun, serves as a stark reminder that the legal system is tasked with unraveling the intricate truths surrounding such cases. It reflects the complexities of parsing through conflicting accounts, reconstructing events, and delivering justice that balances the rights of the accused with the imperative of safeguarding society. In the aftermath of these trials, Edgewood finds itself grappling not only with the sorrow of lives lost, but also with a heightened awareness of the intricate dynamics that underscore domestic disputes. The legal system, represented by figures like Deputy State's Attorney Adkins Tobin, plays a critical role in navigating these complexities, seeking justice, and providing a framework for healing in the wake of profound tragedy. As communities reflect on these heart-wrenching incidents, the imperative to address the root causes of domestic strife becomes ever more apparent, reminding society of the collective responsibility to foster environments where conflicts can be resolved without resorting to violence. As the legal saga unfolds, the next pivotal moment approaches with the scheduled sentencing hearing for Tanasha, set to take place on July 2 in the hallowed halls of Harford County Circuit Court. This date marks a crucial juncture in the pursuit of justice, offering an opportunity for the legal system to mete out the consequences commensurate with the gravity of the crime. The courtroom, a stage for the solemn pronouncement of justice, will bear witness to the culmination of legal proceedings that have sought to unravel the complexities and intricacies surrounding the tragic murder of George Moore. These cases, both the recent conviction of Tanisha and the ongoing trial of Tanisha Siena, collectively underscore the challenges inherent in confronting domestic violence and its catastrophic consequences. The legal system assumes a vital role in navigating the labyrinth of emotions, motivations, and circumstances that characterize these cases, striving to provide a measure of closure for the victims' families while holding accountable those responsible for such heinous acts. The true crime narrative surrounding Tanisha's case has not only captured the attention of legal enthusiasts, but has also drawn the gaze of the wider public, including producers from the true crime show Snapped on the Oxygen Network. Known for delving into cases where individuals, often women, are suspected of committing violent crimes, Snapped is set to shine a spotlight on the tragic tale that unfolded in Edgewood. Siena's conviction for second-degree murder and the use of a handgun during a violent crime has added a layer of complexity to the show's narrative, shedding light on the profound consequences that can result from unchecked emotions and domestic turmoil. Deputy State's Attorney Adkins Tobin, a central figure in the legal proceedings, unveiled a chilling aspect of the case during the trial. Siena's reported rage upon learning that Moore was leaving her for another woman, as disclosed in the courtroom, added a poignant layer to the tragedy. The revelation of this emotional tumult served as a backdrop to the fatal shooting that unfolded, providing a glimpse into the complex interplay of emotions that culminated in a violent act. Siena's subsequent sentencing minus 50 years, comprising 30 years for the murder of Moore and an additional 20 years for using a firearm in committing a felony, underscores the gravity with which the legal system regards such actions. As Siena navigates the appeals process, the case continues to captivate public interest, transcending the courtroom and entering the realm of true crime entertainment. In this convergence of legal proceedings and media attention, the broader societal conversation about domestic violence and its far-reaching consequences gains momentum, urging communities to confront the shadows that can lurk within the seemingly ordinary corners of domestic life. The intersection of true crime and reality deepens as the production wheels of Snapped turn, delving into the tragic narrative that unfolded in Edgewood. The recent presence of the production crew in Bel Air signifies the expansion of the true crime spotlight onto the physical landscapes that bore witness to the courtroom drama. Filming B-roll around the imposing Harford County Circuit Court building, where legal fates are decided and justice is meted out, adds a cinematic dimension to the unfolding saga. The architecture itself becomes a silent witness to the gravity of the legal proceedings and the weight of decisions that shape the lives of those involved. In a quest for authenticity, the crew extended their lens beyond the courtroom, venturing into the heart of the community. The decision to interview a first responder at the Joppa Magnolia Volunteer Fire Company underscores the ripple effects of such tragedies. First responders, often the unsung heroes in the aftermath of calamities, carry unique perspectives on the impact of violence within a community. Their accounts, woven into the fabric of the true crime narrative, provide a nuanced understanding of the broader repercussions that resonate far beyond the courtroom walls. Journeying into the Edgewood area itself, the crew sought to capture the essence of the murder scene, infusing the visuals with the stark reality of the events that transpired. The streets and residences of Mahonia Way, once the backdrop of domestic life, now serve as a poignant reminder of the fragility of normalcy and the darkness that can unravel within the confines of a seemingly ordinary neighborhood. The anticipation builds as the producers of Snapped craft an episode that promises not only to dissect the legal intricacies of the case, but also to explore the emotional landscapes of those affected. True crime enthusiasts and the wider public alike will be granted a front row seat into the complexities surrounding domestic violence, as the episode promises to unveil the layers of human emotion, societal dynamics, and legal proceedings that converged in Edgewood. The projected air date within the next year adds an element of expectation, with viewers poised to witness the synthesis of facts and storytelling that characterizes the true crime genre. As the episode takes its place in the broader cultural conversation, it not only memorializes the events in Edgewood, but also serves as a catalyst for reflection on the societal responsibilities and challenges associated with confronting domestic violence. The convergence of media and real-life tragedy, exemplified by Snapped, extends an invitation to communities to engage in dialogue, foster awareness, and work towards preventing the recurrence of such heart-wrenching narratives. Thanks for joining today's crime journey. I'm Diana, your guide in the shadows. Subscribe, hit the bell, and let's keep exploring mysteries together. Stay curious, stay alert, and see you next time. Take care. In a harrowing incident that sent shockwaves through the community, the final moments of 16-year-old Kalisha have become a disturbing spectacle, etched into the digital realm through a chilling TikTok video. The footage, a haunting snapshot of an evening gone awry, unfolded within the confines of an Atlanta hotel room at the Hyatt Regency on Peachtree Street around 12:27 a.m. on December 26. The tragedy that befell Kalisha has left her grieving family grappling for answers, shrouded in the enigma of a young life cut short. The TikTok video, a digital testimony to the unsettling turn of events, opens with Kalisha joyously dancing, capturing the essence of a carefree moment. However, the tone shifts abruptly, marking a stark departure from the lighthearted atmosphere. A palpable unease permeates the scene as an unexpected presence disrupts the teenager's spirited dance. The footage takes a chilling turn as Kalisha's demeanor transforms, her expression reflecting a mix of surprise and fear. The crescendo of music that once accompanied her joyous movements now serves as an eerie backdrop to the unfolding tragedy. The video's conclusion is a heart-wrenching freeze frame. Kalisha, now facing the entrance, her eyes locked onto an unseen intruder. The abrupt end leaves viewers with an unsettling void, a disturbing sense of an impending calamity that transcends the boundaries of the digital screen. As the community grapples with the shock of this inexplicable loss, the circumstances surrounding Kalisha's death have given rise to a multitude of unanswered questions. The TikTok video, seemingly innocuous in its initial moments, has become a poignant piece of evidence, a digital breadcrumb trail leading investigators and the public alike through the labyrinth of events preceding the tragedy. Each frame of the video is scrutinized for clues, and the haunting nature of its content only deepens the mystery surrounding the young girl's demise. For Kalisha's family, the video represents a painful reminder of a night that forever altered the trajectory of their lives. As they seek solace and closure, the community remains gripped by the profound impact of this unsettling incident, pondering the fragility of life in the digital age and the poignant narratives that unfold in the most unexpected corners of our interconnected world. April Smith, a mother thrust into the forefront of a tragic narrative, has become a vocal advocate for justice in the wake of her daughter Kalisha's untimely demise. Leading a protest outside the Hyatt Regency, the epicenter of the grim incident, Smith has gathered a group of over 20 people, all unified in their demand for answers and accountability. In an emotional interview with Fox 5, Smith disclosed a critical detail that adds another layer of complexity to the unfolding tragedy. The TikTok video capturing Kalisha's final moments was recorded at approximately 12:02 a.m. This revelation underscores a disconcerting timeline, as it suggests a mere 21-minute gap between the seemingly innocuous TikTok recording and the devastating turn of events that led to Kalisha's death at 12:23 a.m. The haunting question looms large. What transpired in those brief, ominous minutes? April Smith, grappling with grief and the overwhelming need for closure, expressed her anguish with raw honesty, demanding answers that could bring clarity to the inexplicable. What happened after she made that last TikTok video at 12:02 a.m. and she was dead at 12:23 a.m.? I need answers, Smith implored, encapsulating the desperate plea of a mother navigating the unfathomable loss of her child. The community, rallying behind Smith's call for transparency, echoes the sentiment as the search for truth becomes a collective pursuit. Amid the somber atmosphere, a glimmer of legal action surfaces. The Atlanta Police Department acted swiftly, apprehending a 16-year-old male suspect believed to be connected to Kalisha's shooting. The gravity of the charges filed against the alleged perpetrator speaks to the severity of the incident, with accusations including felony murder, aggravated assault, reckless conduct, and the possession of a pistol by an individual under the age of 18. The identity of the suspect remains shielded by legal constraints, heightening the sensitivity of an already fraught situation. As the wheels of justice turn, the community remains on edge, grappling with the unsettling events that have unfolded within the walls of the Hyatt Regency. April Smith's unwavering pursuit of answers serves as a poignant reminder that beyond the headlines and legal proceedings, a grieving mother seeks solace and closure in the face of a tragedy that has forever altered the fabric of her family. The collective call for justice reverberates through the community, emphasizing the need for accountability and the preservation of a young life lost too soon. In the aftermath of the arrest, April Smith's pursuit of justice takes an unexpected turn as she firmly believes that more individuals should be held accountable for her daughter Kalisha's tragic fate. Pointing an accusatory finger, Smith asserts that another parent, who orchestrated the stay at the Hyatt Regency, should bear consequences for the heartbreaking turn of events. The shocking revelation surfaces as Smith discloses that Kalisha was originally intended to attend a chaperoned holiday party at an Airmove, a plan that took a dark detour with the unanticipated hotel stay. The full scope of this deviation from the intended celebration only emerged after the teenager's untimely death, deepening the complexity of the narrative. The perplexing circumstances surrounding Kalisha's case intensify as a key witness connected to the family, Kanataka Starkey, steps forward with crucial insights. Starkey reveals that during the incident, panicked exclamations about the hotel's location reverberated in the air. This unexpected revelation raises questions about the nature of the Hyatt Regency stay and the events leading up to the tragedy. Starkey goes on to recount a chilling scene witnessed in the hotel. Two men carrying Kalisha out of an elevator, one grasping each leg. The grim acknowledgement that the young girl had been shot hangs heavy in the air, painting a stark picture of the harrowing moments that unfolded within the confines of the hotel. As the investigation delves into these unforeseen dimensions, the community is left grappling with the unsettling twists in the narrative. The call for accountability extends beyond the individual arrested, prompting a broader examination of the decisions that led to Kalisha's presence at the Hyatt Regency on that fateful night. April Smith's plea for justice encompasses not only the immediate perpetrator, but also those who may have played a role in altering the course of her daughter's life. The revelation of the alternate holiday party plans and the witness's account inject a new layer of complexity into the investigation, inviting scrutiny into the circumstances surrounding Kalisha's stay at the hotel. The search for truth takes on a multifaceted nature as the community awaits further revelations and the legal system grapples with the intricate web of events that led to the loss of a vibrant young life. The echoes of this tragedy continue to reverberate, serving as a somber reminder of the profound consequences that can arise from a series of seemingly innocuous decisions. As the narrative surrounding Kalisha's tragic demise unfolds, another layer of complexity is added through the account of a woman staying at the Hyatt Regency who allegedly had connections to Kalisha's family. Karnataka Starkey, the woman in question, steps forward to share her version of the incident. Starkey reveals that she recorded a video capturing the harrowing moments when emergency medical technicians desperately attempted to resuscitate the teenager. However, this documentation, intended as a record of the unfolding emergency, inadvertently sparked suspicions within Kalisha's grieving family. Kalisha's stepfather, Ronnie Savoy, became a vocal skeptic, questioning the decision to move the injured girl from the hotel room floor to the lobby. His skepticism was fueled by the examination of a video from another witness that seemingly contradicted the severity of the situation. The footage, according to Savoy, displayed no visible signs of blood, prompting him to question the necessity of the relocation. This discrepancy in accounts deepens the mystery surrounding the circumstances of Kalisha's final moments and adds a layer of uncertainty to an already complex investigation. The initial police response paints a grim picture of the scene at the Hyatt Regency. Kalisha was reportedly discovered with an apparent gunshot wound to the groin area. When the Atlanta Police Department arrived on the scene, the young girl was unresponsive and not breathing. Urgently transported to a nearby hospital, she was tragically pronounced dead. The swift apprehension of the suspect, who was subsequently booked into the Metro Youth Detention Center, marked a pivotal moment in the ongoing investigation. The incongruities between witness accounts, coupled with the family's growing skepticism, cast a shadow over the events leading to Kalisha's death. The unfolding details amplify the need for a thorough and transparent inquiry, ensuring that every angle of this tragedy is scrutinized. As the legal process unfolds, the community remains on edge, seeking not only justice for Kalisha, but also clarity and truth in the face of a narrative that becomes more intricate with each revelation. The profound loss of a young life and the quest for accountability continue to reverberate, prompting a community to grapple with the unsettling reality of this inexplicable incident. As investigators delve deeper into the tragic incident at the Hyatt Regency, the unfolding narrative paints a somber picture of the events leading to the fatal shooting of 16-year-old Kalisha. The preliminary findings suggest that the heartbreaking episode originated from a verbal dispute between Kalisha and a juvenile male companion within the confines of one of the hotel rooms. Anthony Grant, serving as the police spokesman, provided insight into the distressing turn of events, revealing a verbal dispute occurred between both parties which resulted in the juvenile male fatally shooting the victim. The revelation injects a layer of complexity into the case, prompting investigators to meticulously untangle the details of the altercation that culminated in the untimely death of the young girl. The Hyatt Regency, grappling with the aftermath of this tragic incident, issued a heartfelt statement expressing sorrow over what they deemed an isolated situation. The statement underscored the hotel's unwavering commitment to the safety and well-being of its guests, emphasizing their complete cooperation with local authorities throughout the ongoing investigation. The community, still enveloped in the shockwaves of the tragedy, remains vigilant as the intricate details of the case continue to emerge. In the wake of such a distressing event, the community's collective gaze is fixed on the evolving narrative, seeking answers and a clearer understanding of the circumstances surrounding Kalisha's untimely demise. The Hyatt Regency's commitment to cooperation and transparency in the investigative process reflects a shared desire for accountability and justice. As the intricate details continue to unfold, the community remains in a state of profound reflection, contemplating the fragility of life and the unforeseen complexities that can shatter the illusion of safety in familiar spaces. The quest for justice becomes a shared endeavor, a communal call to unravel the layers of tragedy that have left scars not only on the family directly affected, but on the collective consciousness of those touched by this heart-wrenching incident. The Atlanta Police Department, in its pursuit of a comprehensive understanding of the incident, urges any witnesses or individuals with related information to come forward. This call for cooperation underscores the importance of community involvement in the quest for justice, as the authorities seek to piece together the events that led to Kelicia's heartbreaking demise. Meanwhile, Kelicia's grieving family, enveloped in sorrow, remains determined to unravel the circumstances surrounding the incident. Their quest for answers persists, fueled by a desire to comprehend the events that led to the loss of their beloved daughter. The community, united in mourning, stands in solidarity with the family, collectively grappling with the tragic reality of a young life cut short. As the investigation unfolds, the ripple effects of this heartbreaking incident are felt throughout the community. The pursuit of justice becomes not only a legal imperative but a communal responsibility. The memory of Kelicia Williams serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the need for vigilance in understanding and addressing the complexities that can lead to such devastating outcomes. Thanks for joining today's crime journey. I'm Diana, your guide in the shadows. Subscribe, hit the bell, and let's keep exploring mysteries together. Stay curious, stay alert, and see you next time. Take care.